Most people spend the best decade of their career staring at one number, their retirement number. And then the day finally comes and they hit it and they feel nothing. Not freedom, not relief, just empty. And nobody warned them that this was coming. Here's what I know after talking to a lot of people about their retirement stories. The number was never the whole plan. It was just the only part that anybody taught you how to and to measure. Well, today we're going to fix that. I'm going to walk you through what I call the 10-year reset. 6 moves, 3 financial, 3 life, that retirees consistently wish that they had made a decade before they quit. And I want to flag something right now because we're going to get into it here in section 3. And I think it's going to surprise you. The single biggest mistake that most people make in their final decade of work has nothing to do with their investments. It's about income. And by the time we're done, you'll understand exactly why it's probably costing you 6 figures. Let's go. I want to start by saying something that the financial advice industry almost never says. You did the hard part. You showed up for 30 years. You maxed your contributions. You made the sacrifices. The money is there, and that matters. And none of what I'm about to say is meant to take that away. But here's what nobody told you. The financial industry optimized you for the balance sheet. They got paid to grow your assets. They did not get paid to help you build a social life. They did not get paid to help you keep your knees working past 65. They did not get paid to help you figure out who you are when your job title disappears. That gap is by design. Dependency is their business model. Your feeling of inadequacy, it's what keeps them employed. Now, Brain Flash, this channel, exists because that model has a conflict of interest and you deserve better. Psychologists call it the arrival fallacy, the belief that once you hit the target, the feeling that you imagined automatically shows up with it. And it doesn't, because the number buys financial security. It does not buy a full life. And here is the part that is genuinely urgent. After 65, the utility, right, the value of additional dollars, it drops really sharply. You can't buy your way back into functional needs. You cannot manufacture a social circle of friends in month 1 of retirement. You cannot outsource a sense of purpose to your financial advisor. The 10-year window is the last great inflection point that you're going to even get, and most people never open it. Let's change that, starting right now. Look, if looking at retirement this way is useful to you, would you like and subscribe? And that way you won't miss the next assumption that we're going to challenge together. Now, here's a question I want you to sit with, to consider. Do you have 30 years of experience, or do you have 1 year of experience repeated 30 times? Because there's a version of career loyalty that for us, right, at our age, it feels like integrity, but it's quietly costing you over $200,000. Here's the math. Companies retain their employees with raises. They average 2 to 4% a year. The job market recruits talent. and with increases averaging what? 10 to 20%. That's not a small difference. A $15,000 salary increase at age 54, if you invest that annually at 7% over the next 10 years, produces approximately $209,000 more sitting in your retirement account before even your employer match. The psychological barrier is real. I get it. I have been there and done that. I know what it feels like. Loyalty, it feels like a virtue to us. But staying at a company that has already stopped competing for you, that's not loyalty. It's an expensive comfort. So here's one action tonight. Don't go quit your job. Okay, don't do that. It's not what we're talking about. Don't quit your job just to have one conversation, but think about a recruiter. Meet a recruiter. All right, go on LinkedIn. Find a recruiter in your industry, not to take a new position, but to know what your market value is. Most people in this channel's audience, you're likely underpaid by 12 to 22%, and you have no clue. You can't optimize what you can't see. All right, the most expensive sentence in personal finance is this one. You know what? I'll start something when I retire. I've heard this from more people than I can count. And I understand the logic. Right now you're busy. You're tired. When you have time, you'll build the thing. But here's the problem. Businesses take time. Not weeks, not months, years. Real data. Most solo businesses lose money in year 1 and year 2. They may begin to break even in year 3 and become reliable in year 4 and 5. If you expect to walk out of your office on a Friday afternoon and earn $1,000 a month from your side business by Monday morning, you're going to be in serious trouble. Now, flip that. $500 to $1,000 a month in a sustainable side income is $6,000 to $12,000 a year. For someone living, let's call it on a $48,000 annual retirement income, that's 12 to 25% of your total income stack. That's the difference between comfortable and anxious. I want to be clear about what I mean by side income. I'm not talking about building a startup. I'm talking about one marketable skill or one hobby with a paying audience that generates low stress, predictable income that you control. Your action tonight, it's simple. Write down 3 things that people have consistently over the years come to you for throughout your career. That knowledge, it's a great place to start. Now, most people treat Social Security like a default, right? A switch. You stop working, you claim. That single decision may be one of the most expensive choices you ever make without even realizing it. Here's why. Every year you delay claiming Social Security past age 62 will add approximately 8% to your monthly benefit. Permanently. Delay from 62 to 70, and your benefit can increase by 76%. For the right person, that delay is worth $80,000 to $130,000 in additional lifetime income. Look, I'm also going to link to a video by another YouTube channel. It's called Aaron Talks Money about Social Security timing. I watched that video recently. She does a great job of explaining it in clear, understandable terms. I'm going to put that video link description below. Check it out. You see, the question is not whether to delay. The question is whether you built the financial bridge that makes delaying even possible. That bridge, the side income, the strategic salary increase, a modest planned drawdown from savings, is exactly what the 10-year window is for. The decision you make at 55 about income diversification, that will determine whether delaying Social Security is even an option for you at 65. These three financial resets, they're not separate. They build on each other. They're one income stack. Now, I want to tell you about a trip to Italy that one of our viewers never took. He saved for 20 years to take it. Florence, Rome, the Amalfi Coast. He got there at 68. And he couldn't walk 4 miles through the streets of Florence. His knees had given out 3 years earlier. He had the money. He didn't have the body. This is not a wellness story. This is a financial story. Average retirement healthcare costs run $165,000 per person, if you ask Fidelity. Poor functional fitness is one of the primary drivers of that number. One replaced knee averages what, $30,000 to $50,000, 12 months it takes to recover. Strength training that prevents that, that'll run you $30 to $50 at your local gym every month. The 10-year physical reset, it's not about how you look. It's about what you can do. So the question I want to ask yourself right now is this: what are 2 physical activities you most want to do in retirement? Hiking? Travel? Just keeping up with the grandkids? Playing golf for 18 holes? So work backwards. What does your body need to be able to do to make those things possible? That's what you build toward. Not toward a number on a scale, toward a life that you can actually live. I need to ask you something, and I want you to answer it honestly. If you removed your job from your life tomorrow, the office, gone, emails, non-existent, the team meetings, forgotten, how many social interactions would you have left in a typical week? For a lot of the men watching this, the answer is uncomfortable. Here's the pattern. When you stop receiving a paycheck, 90% of your daily social interaction disappears overnight. And it's not because people don't like you. It's because most of your social infrastructure was built inside of your job title. It's called the work friend trap, and it's one of the least discussed drivers of early retirement depression. Yeah, it's a thing. The cognitive health data is clear. Social isolation in the first years of retirement is one of the strongest predictors of accelerated cognitive decline. Look, this isn't meant to be a soft conversation. This is a medical and financial one. Here's your reset. Join one non-professional community right now, before you need it. A club, a volunteer role, a class, a recreational team, a faith community. The relationship equity in those spaces, it takes years to build. You can't just manufacture it overnight, the week you retire. The goal is simple. You want a tribe waiting for you on the other side of that retirement choice. Retirement, it's not an exit. It's an entrance. Know where and what you're walking into. This last section is for the high achievers out there. And in this community, guess what? That's most of you. The people who are most disciplined, most capable, most accomplished, these are often the people who get hardest by the question nobody prepares them for. Who am I now? For 30 years, maybe 40, you had a title, a role, a function, a reason that people needed you, and then one day, it's gone. Someone at a party asks what you do, and for the first time in your adult life, you don't even have an answer. This is not a philosophical problem. It's a neurological one. High achievers are wired for achievement loops. Set a goal, reach it, get the reward, repeat. Retirement severs that loop. The 10-year reset here is about building what I call a contribution plan, not a bucket list. A contribution. Something that replaces the dopamine hit of the career milestone with something that actually matters beyond the paycheck. Mentorship, teaching, a creative output, community leadership, that purposeful side income that we've talked about before. Notice something, the side income from section 4, the one that adds $12,000 a year to your retirement income, it's also your identity. It's not two separate problems. It's one move. Purpose and income from the same source. That's the reset. So I want to paint you a picture. Not a financial projection, just a Tuesday morning. You wake up without an alarm. You have coffee with someone you chose to have coffee with. Later, you take a hike because your body can do that. You got a text from someone you mentored asking for your advice on a decision that matters to them. Your bank account, it's sustainable, not shrinking faster than you expected, sustainable. And when someone asks what you do, you have 3 answers. And none of them are your old job title. That's not a fantasy. That's the other side of a 10-year reset. You built the financial foundation, the number's real, the work was real. Now, let's build the life that belongs on top of it. And if this video gave you a framework that you didn't have an hour ago, when you subscribe, it tells YouTube to put this in front of more people who are sitting with the same questions you are. They need this. And so does someone you know. In the next video, we're going to break down exactly what a $2,500, $3,500, and $5,000 monthly retirement actually even looks like. Real numbers, real life. No financial advisor required. I'll see you there.